Looks like we are live.
How's everybody going?
Yes, welcome. So obviously, this is a live, brand new segment that we're going to start doing every single month. Dana Cortez from the Dana Cortez Show. This is called Health and Fitness, brought to you by Rocks Discount Vitamins and K. I've been going for years now, way before I knew Santi. And now that I know Santi, I asked him, "Can you please help us? Is there any way at all that you can answer some of our questions? Because we all know New Year, new me." And we've got a lot of questions, Santi. So thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. I appreciate having us on the show, and hopefully we can be of some assistance to all our listeners and followers out here.
Well, I look at you and you look like obviously you are in great health. And that's a great thing. And when I walk into Rocks, I want to make sure that if I'm asking for health advice, the people there are healthy. But also, I want people to understand too how kind every person who works at Rocks is. And it doesn't matter whether you're just beginning that journey. When I used to be 60 pounds heavier, I would often feel intimidated. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I felt intimidated. We don't have to feel that way walking into Rocks, correct?
No, and you're not the only one. We get this with males and females, and I think this is just a human thing. We naturally are our worst critics, right? And eventually, we want to do something helpful with our health, fitness, exercise, and we know we need some help, and we know we need to have some questions that we need answered, and we kind of be a little self-conscious of kind of stepping out of that comfort zone and kind of asking for that help. So that's one of the biggest things that we focus at Rocks is just try to be so customer oriented and customer focused. When somebody comes in, it's like, hey, we'll meet you where you're at. What do you want to do? What's your goals? Let's get on an in body. Like just kind of get a good general feeling. And the best thing to do about it is we don't make anybody go any route. It's your body, it's your lifestyle, it's your goals. We're just here to assist you with that and supplements knowledge and of
I know
course.
I know we have some giveaways and we have some questions that are
Yeah.
already coming in. But the first thing I want to talk about, you mentioned the in body, and there might be somebody watching right now that has no idea what that is. And I want to stress something. There is no one size fits all plan. And Rocks Discount Vitamins and More completely recognizes that. When you walk in, you get to do an in body test. And this is about your body, your goals, and what fits you and your lifestyle. So talk about the in body and the fact that it's free. I love that part.
Yes, so the InBody is the free. So these machines will range anywhere from about $7,000 to $10,000 depending on the unit model. We do not charge. They're called InBody analysis, and NASA uses these guys a lot. Universities. This is a very well respected brand and essentially machine that's used to kind of help give us some good benchmarks and track our progress for fitness and health. But the biggest thing about the InBody is it gives you so much, and so a lot of people, what we find out is so undernutrition. And this could maybe even come into one of our topics later on, but is a lot of people are undernutrition and they don't realize how much protein they're supposed to be getting in. And protein has this connotation of all muscles, and protein is your hair, your nails, your skin, your organs. It's also your muscles as
People
well.
never think about their skin. It's the largest organ. Your skin is a living organ. It's the
That is
largest organ
correct.
in your
That
body.
is it's alive. It's we shed. That's what dust is part of as well. I mean,
That's
this is 100%. It's kind of weird, right? But yeah. So the InBody gives us a lot of insight. One, it gives us a baseline. Two, it tells us a lean body mass index, is which we utilize to kind of gauge how much protein your body needs a day, just to maintain what's called homeostasis. So that way your body can maintain its nutritional state based off of what you're doing. And then it spits out what's called a basal metabolic rate, which is how many calories your body burns at rest throughout the day, just hanging out on the couch or just sitting here doing calls, right? And so all this plays into basically what kind of state our body's in right now, but also kind of gives us a good baseline vision of, okay, where do we want to go from here? And that's really where we pass the ball back to our customers and say, is your body, what do you want to do? And, right off the bat, the customer will always tell us like, well, hey, look, I really want to do this. This is a goal. This is whatever it is. And we just kind of go from there. So it's a very useful product. I mean,
that's incredible that the in body is free for people, and like you said, it really is because it is your body that you're stepping on this machine. There's no pain. I mean, it's like a weight machine. It's not though. It's so much more. But
yeah.
that's the only way I can describe it. You step on it, and then the machine tells you all about what's going on in your body. You just mentioned laying on the couch. That's my favorite exercise. Do that.
Yeah,
You can't do
it's
that.
not
And that
bad.
leads into the first question. Um, And this is a big one because a lot of people this time of year promise themselves, "Oh, I'm gonna get healthy. I'm gonna lose weight this year." And then kind of by this time, and even unfortunately by mid-February, I think it's 82% of people have fallen off.
Is that the statistic now? My
You
goodness, that's high.
How do I get started? How do I get started and how do I stay motivated?
Yeah, man, that's a high statistic. I hope that's not 100% accurate, but
Not if you're watching this, it's not.
it definitely it definitely we see it in as far as on the storefront side of things as well. We see a large influx of traffic, new customers, and returning customers, of course. And of course, it kind of starts to fall off a little bit towards the middle of the year. But the biggest thing is, especially coming out of this whole COVID situation, a lot of people have been more sedentary than they probably normally were. Everybody's working from home. They're doing these things, Zooms. And the biggest thing is let's get physical. But what do you do? What do you get started? The biggest thing is like one, you have to understand where you're at. When we step on a scale, it's just a number, and a lot of people can get very discouraged by that number. That's composed of your water, also your skeletal muscle mass. Some people hold more muscle than they surprise themselves when they step on an InBody to see how much muscle tissue, but that contributes to your overall weight as well, right? And then of course body fat. So one, just get a baseline. So come on in and definitely get a good baseline InBody. It's free. We don't charge. And then secondary is nutrition. What are we putting into our bodies, right? So nothing can be on our body unless we bring it into it. And then 3 is to put the proper health nutrition supplements that are going to supplement your lifestyle and your fitness goals. And it's just a 1, 2, 3 process, the way I kind of see it. Get a baseline, start eating healthy food choices.
Right.
One bad meal doesn't make us big. One good meal doesn't make us skinny. So it's okay. We're human.
Glad you said that because sometimes if I have a bad meal, I feel super guilty. You don't have to. You can reset, recalibrate, and start again. Don't quit.
100%. And
About
honest,
cheat meal or you fall off one day, it's okay. You get right back up the next day.
100%. And that's where the discipline and just exercising a little bit. We don't exercise to, as a general, of course, there's competitors out there and real athletes.
We see your arms, Santi. We know who's working out, okay?
Yeah, no, but point is like we exercise so we can have, good, enjoyable foods, so we can go out to restaurants and so you don't have to feel bad. You can go and, enjoy yourself with the family meal or friends or whatnot. And it's a lifestyle thing. You're just exercising, and you bring it in, and you can burn it off, and bring it in, and burn it off.
You said that right because you think, oh, I haven't worked out in years. Just stepping outside and taking a walk. Sometimes if it's too cold or too hot or whatever, the environment outside, there's always an excuse. No, if you have time to sit down and stream your favorite show, you can stand up and walk in place. Those are the beginnings, and then pretty soon you realize that exercise makes you feel so good. And you want it every day. You start to crave it, just like you did the bad food.
Yeah, there's a psychological aspect to exercise. It releases like feel good hormones. We feel better about ourselves. Psychologically, we've accomplished a positive thing for the day. You got to win. Now let's go get that next win and get that clean meal as opposed to going to get an unhealthy meal.
Yeah,
and so it's all about small wins and just trying to stay consistent. Nobody's perfect. That's okay. Neither am I. But it's good, healthy practices. And when you come in, a lot of people, they don't really understand food and nutrition, and that's okay. And we break it down in a very, very simple way. So that way we can give them the education so they can go home and live a healthy lifestyle. We're not trying to make everybody fitness pros. We just want everybody to be a little healthy.
And I love that. And that's why I mentioned that. Like, don't be intimidated. Don't please. Can we give away some Rox Bucks? I mean, can we give something away to encourage you to come in? And what I want you to do is just right underneath, maybe, hey, I want to get fit. This year, 2021 is my year. Whatever you write, that's going to register you to win. And at the end, we have our very good friend behind the scenes, Mijo, is producing this for us. And winners. And I think should we just contact them from Facebook? I guess that's the easiest way, don't you think?
Yeah, our Facebook has a lot of traffic. It'd be a little bit easier to pick a winner if we could go to, and if you could put that up, but at Rox Discount on our Instagram social media.
Okay, perfect.
Just message Dana Cortez show free gift card or something, whatever it is.
Yeah, and this is going to live here. So, after a certain amount of time, obviously the contest will be cut off and we'll put all that in the captions. But please message at Rox discount, right, on Instagram?
100%. So message the at Rocks discount on our social media, Instagram. Shoot us a message, and just put that on the memo in the caption, on the message, and I will actually be sweeping it here within the next hour, and we'll go ahead and contact you for your local closest. We have 28 locations in Texas, so we'll contact you with your closest proximity location, and you can hop in and get that $50 credit.
We have 28 locations throughout the state of Texas. I know one day you are going to branch out of Texas. I spoke it. Trust me, it's going to manifest. All right, now I have another question. We're kind of talking about the vitamins and supplements. Why do they help me? And we started talking, we kind of mentioned the COVID situation. I think right now more than ever, people want to be healthy. We want to build our immune system. Vitamins and supplements, how do those things come into play?
100%. So I definitely say, on our end, we've seen a surge of people highly more interested in basic vitamins and basic immunity system, and obviously because of the pandemic that we've gone through and
Right.
kind of hopefully coming out of now. And if there's any been positive out of this, I think a lot of people have now put health a little bit more at the forefront, maybe prior than they used to. And on the vitamins and supplements and how that helps out, vitamins are just what's called micronutrients. So when it comes to food, and without getting too fancy, we have macro and we have micro. Macro is your proteins, your carbs, your fats. This is the fuel that your body is utilizing to do what we got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Micronutrients, these are your trace minerals. These are your A's, your B's, your C's. This is more for functional. This, it gets real, fancy talk, but you'd have to have a very exotic diet to be able to get everything that you need, in a daily diet that you would get in a super packed multivitamin.
Right.
And so the biggest thing is make sure that not only we're always eating, so we're typically taking care of our macronutrition. Now, whether it's healthy or not, it's up to debate. But the biggest thing is most people are not taking care of their micros.
Didn't make the cut. Okay, whatever.
What's that?
I said hot lime Cheetos didn't make the cut for.
No, good snack though. So the micronutrients, this is where the multis come in. So, basically covers everything. But the big thing right now that we have so many customers coming in, and we've actually enhanced our profile on our shelves of immunity-based products. So vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, quercetin.
You know what I
bromelain.
love that you guys carry? I love the greens and the reds. I
Yes.
love the greens and the reds. These are part of helping our immune system as well, correct? Because I love those are two of my favorite things from Rocks.
100%. So your greens are going to have your phytonutrients, is what we call them, but they're also going to be good for GI health, digestive health. So there's just so many benefits. I always recommend a good protein, so that way you're taking care of your macro nutrition. I always recommend a good multivitamin, so we're taking care of the micro. And then most people are not as their bowel movements aren't as good. They're not eating the best food. So a greens, one, is it supercharges that immune system as well, but also kind of gives up some good digestion benefits.
I did want to say this, and she told me I can't say her name, but it's interesting you just mentioned that, and I know it's a lot, but if you're not going potty at the minimum of one time a day, you're not healthy. That is not normal. And I had someone write me, and I actually, because you had told me last year, we had like a quick meeting and you allowed us to film you, and you mentioned the greens and you kind of mentioned that, and she went in and bought them and said, "Oh my gosh, I feel like my life has changed." And I know that sounds crazy, but if you're not regular, you get that bloat going. You know what I mean? Like you feel like you have that forever pooch. Ladies,
Yeah.
trust me, go into Rocks and they'll help you with that. And your tummy gets flatter. And this is real talk right here, you know?
This is real talk. We have customers that come in, and we're very honest. We're real people. We're taking genuine dives into somebody's lifestyle. And we'll ask, if they're in the event that we come across this subject of cleansers or vitamins and greens, hey, how are you pretty regular? And I'm surprised to hear that people, they won't go after for a couple of days. Like every 2 days they'll go.
Not good, not healthy.
No, the whole point of a GI system is we bring in, your body extracts the nutrients of the foods it needs, and then the body wants to get rid of it. If you're not getting rid of those things, it's being held. We're still bringing in foods. It's just not going anywhere. That's not healthy.
It's not healthy in the long run either. And that kind of goes into the final question. What should I be eating if I want to lose weight? Now, I think we're probably going to take it to the, start of the conversation, because you've talked to me a lot about vegetables, fruits, but also protein. And let's talk a little bit about why protein and putting that in our bodies is so important.
Very important. Again, so it just refers back to macronutrient. We are what we eat. So, whatever we're consuming, the body will typically reflect. And so the biggest thing is so many people are undernutrition. I'll have, this is, I understand, not a lot of people, know the best kind of things to be putting in, but sometimes I'll have talks with customers and I'll dive into their diet, of course. And I'll say, hey, just walk me through what's a typical breakfast or a lunch for you, just so I can understand really where they're at.
Right.
And they're like, man, well, in the morning, pretty much what I'll do is a piece of toast, maybe some jelly and a banana. And I'm like, and that's it.
And,
and
then,
like,
they're telling you a story. They probably grabbed a bean and chorizo breakfast taco. They didn't even want to tell you.
Trust me, I got my taco people. They'll tell me that they like tacos. That's not a secret. But so what I do is I break that down for them. And I said, okay, so when's your next meal? Oh, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. And I said, man, okay. And then dinner, I'm assuming. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, so for breakfast with this scenario of the toast and the banana, and the way I understand it, it's I'm like, okay, so you're having jelly. Hopefully it's a sugar-free jelly, but if it's not, we're getting some sugars. If it's a bread of some sort, we're getting carbs. So we got sugars, we got carbs.
Into sugar, right?
And then we got a banana, which has some micronutrients in there, potassium, etc. But it's also fructose, which is natural sugar, fruit sugar. So we got sugar, carb, and sugar, and we're out the door. This is an American, average. It's like, no, my goodness, no. So, we kind of course correct. So nutrition, protein needs to always be there in some format. Now, if you're doing a vegan-based diet or paleo, of course, moderate it accordingly. But make sure you always have something from the nutritional protein source. If you're trying to lose weight, I always recommend a white meat over a red, just because reds can be a little bit more rich in fats and lipids. And then have a low carb. If you're going to have some carbs, enjoy them early so we have time to burn them off. And then, we do need fats. We do need fats, nerve conduction, all kinds of different things, but have them early, because late night, if you're not utilizing all this food energy that you're bringing in and you don't use it in the evening, your body stores it. And so every day we store, weeks, days, months, we begin to put on weight. So biggest thing is make sure that you're moderating your lipids, which is your fats, and your carbs in the evenings. Always make sure that protein is in every meal that you're bringing in. And we offer USDA certified Icon meals. These are cryovac.
Oh my God, they're so good. Anthony's in here shaking his head because he loves those Icon meals.
I do too, and I'd say, one of the earlier questions is like, what do I do to get started? I'll be 100% honest with you, because we're human. We all, fall off, and we all have our on and off cycles sometimes. But for me, I would highly recommend get a meal prep company. Now, we have meal prep in our stores. It's called Icon Meals. They're fresh. You come in, we pay for the shipping. You just come in, you buy it. It's not a problem. We'll order it for you. But get a local or somebody like an Icon Meals and get a meal prep. And you'll be so much more inclined to eat something healthy when it's already cooked. All you do is put it in the microwave.
And something that tastes good. And let me tell you something. I'm going to say this, and I know you wouldn't say it because you're not rude. I'm not going to be rude. I'm going to be real. Going into Rox and picking up an Icon meal, it's freshly made. You know where it comes from, USDA certified. People are getting on these meal plans. They're getting frozen stuff from I don't know where, made by who knows who. Don't do it. Go into Rox Discount Vitamins and More. Pick up your meal for the week, and guess what? You know how many calories you're taking in. It's a balanced meal, and then you'll start to become accustomed to that, and you'll start craving that. And then you can learn yourself what to cook. But you can pull in anytime. If you can pull into fast food, you can pull into Rox and pick up an Icon meal.
Yeah, and a lot of our customers, honestly, what they do is they load up. Like I had a customer yesterday. They came in, bought 10 meals, all based off of whatever the beef, chicken, whatever it is, salmon. They load up and they walk out and they got their meals. So they're not going to be hitting the drive-through, spending tons of money on fast food. They got all their meals, and if they get hungry, it's not, I got to do a 30-minute, an hour cook session in the kitchen. It's 2 minutes in the microwave and a USDA certified cryovac clean meals. All the nutrition facts are right there. If you need to do like a MyFitnessPal, scan it. All the nutrition facts go into the app. It just makes it so easy, and honestly, the easier it is, the more consistent we're probably going to be.
Well, you're going to stick to it. So Santi, I want to thank you so much for today's first of many lives. We are going to be doing this every month. We promise to be here for you. The people at Rox are incredible. I have never walked in there and been treated in a way that made me uncomfortable or felt less than. And like I said, this is way before I met you, that I was already going into Rox because of the the incredible reputation and just the kindness. You know, when you are going through something like I need to lose weight. Let's say like when I was 60 pounds heavier, or you're already fit, like, and you're trying to take it to the next level. The people at Rocks, they want to help. They're kind, they're good, and everything is under one roof. So thank you for today. Remember the giveaway at
Yeah,
Rocks
so
Discount
I
on
want to do one giveaway because I'm so passionate of making sure that like I know people will get a healthy kickstart if they just get their meals in right. So this is
God.
what I like y'all to do another giveaway. Of course, just message our at Rocks Discount on our Instagram social media, and just comment. Icon Meals,
The
free
protein,
Icon Meals
the,
giveaway,
the egg, the stuff I love, the birthday.
muscle egg.
I love that. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I'm not kidding.
Yes,
So
but
many,
I want to give away 10 meals. So 10 meals is
oh my
pretty
God.
adequate to get a good meal, good weekend of meals. So 10 meals. So just put 10 meal icon giveaway in our Rock Discount Vitamins. Just message our social media on Instagram,
Okay.
and I will pick somebody, and based off of wherever you're at, we'll either ship it to you if you don't live locally, or I'll tell you your closest location to hop in, and we'll get you 10 meals to set you for the week, so that we can get some good eating habits. And you know, when you're in there, do your InBody and ask some questions for sure.
And that's the first step. That's the first step going in. Santi, thank you so much. I'm going to be in the store very soon, so I will call you. We'll meet up. We'll talk. Pick up my
Look forward to it.
health, and I'll talk to you next time. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Okay, guys. Later.
Happy New Year.
Likewise.